Wow, Eddy. What a truly long day it has been.
Long is an understatement. It was an epic saga of endurance.
Haha, you always know how to put it. You know, this whole day could be a great English lesson. We can cover our daily routines. Let's start from the very beginning. My day began when my alarm went off. That was at 6:30 a.m. Our first phrasal verb is to go off. When an alarm goes off, it means it starts to make its noise. A bomb can also go off, meaning it explodes. But for alarms, it simply means it activates.
My internal alarm is more subtle. It's the sound of birds singing. That's how I know breakfast is imminent.
Everything leads back to food, doesn't it? Well, even after my alarm went off, I didn't get up immediately. This is an important point for learners. The difference between wake up and get up. To wake up is when you stop sleeping. Your eyes can be open. You are conscious. But to get up means to physically leave your bed. I woke up at 6:30, but I only got up at 6:45.
This distinction does not exist for me. Waking up and getting up are one fluid motion.
I can imagine why. So after I finally got up, the first thing I did was put the kettle on. To put something on can mean to start. An appliance, like a coffee maker or a kettle. While the water was heating up, I jumped in the shower. After that, I put on my clothes. This is the most common meaning of put on. It means to dress yourself.
I also put on my work uniform. This blue collar.
It suits you very well. Then I had my first cup of coffee. It really helps to perk me up. The phrasal verb to perk up means to become more lively and energetic. You can also say someone perked up when they become more cheerful.
My breakfast perks me up. It provides the fuel for my very difficult day.
We'll get to your difficult day in a moment. After my coffee, I took a few minutes to sort through my emails. To sort through means to organize, or look through a group of things. I wanted to see what the day looked like.
I sort through my collection of naps. I must decide between the sofa nap or the Sunbeam nap.
A very tough choice indeed. Then, at around 7:30, it was time for me to head out. To head out is a casual phrasal verb. It simply means to leave a place, to go somewhere else. I grabbed my backpack and my keys. I said goodbye to you. And then I set off for work. Here's another useful verb, to set off. It means to begin a journey. It's very similar to head out. But set off often implies a definite or longer journey.
And when you set off, my own long journey begins. The journey of guarding this house.
So my journey to work began. But it wasn't a smooth start. I got stuck in a huge traffic jam. The expression, to get stuck in, means to be trapped or unable to move. The cars were bumper to bumper. That idiom describes traffic, so dense that cars are touching.
I sometimes get stuck in the blankets. It requires a great effort to escape.
I'm sure it does. When I finally got to the office, I needed a moment to settle in. To settle in is what you do when you arrive and make yourself comfortable. I turned on my computer and got my coffee for the day.
My settling in process involves finding the perfect sunbeam on the floor. Location is very important for my duties.
Of course, it's all very strategic. My main task today was to deal with a bug. To deal with something means to manage it, or handle the problem. And it was a very complicated one. I spent the whole morning trying to figure out the solution. As we know, to figure out is to understand or find an answer. I had to really get on with it. To get on with something is to continue or make progress.
While you dealt with digital bugs, I was dealing with a real intruder. The mailman turned up earlier than usual. To turn up means to appear unexpectedly.
Ah, the daily battle with the mailman. What did you do this time?
My duty was clear. I had to scare him off. To scare someone off means to make them go away by frightening them. My vocal performance was exceptional.
I can only imagine. At one point, I decided to meet up with a colleague. To meet up with someone is to meet them. In order to do something together, two heads are better than one after all. We needed to go over the code together. Remember, to go over means to review. I had to point out where I thought. The problem was, to point out is to draw attention to something.
After I saw the mailman off, which means to watch someone leave, I had to deal with a new anomaly. A shimmering, moving patch of light.
You mean a sunbeam?
Its official name is irrelevant. It was an unauthorized presence. I had to chase after it. To chase after means to pursue or run after something. It was very evasive.
Your day seems so much more exciting. We finally started to make headway on the problem. To make headway is an idiom that means to make progress on a difficult task.
I, however, made no headway. The sunbeam was too fast. I had to put up with its presence. To put up with means to tolerate something, unpleasant without complaining.
Well, my morning was mostly about that. Just before lunch, we finally fixed it. What a relief that was. So, after that intense morning, it was finally time to grab a bite. The expression, to grab a bite, that is a casual way to say, get food. It often implies a quick meal.
My meals are never grabbed. They are respectfully appreciated.
Of course they are. The lunch break helped me to recharge my batteries. This is a great idiom. It means to rest and recover your energy.
I also recharge my batteries. I call it the post-lunch power nap.
However, my recharge didn't last long. In the middle of the afternoon, I started feeling drowsy. That's the feeling of being sleepy and tired. I felt like I was about to hit a wall. To hit a wall is an idiom. It means you reach a point where you can no longer make progress.
The only wall I hit is the wall of deep, restorative sleep.
I wish I could do that. But I had a team meeting. During the meeting, I had to bring up a few concerns. To bring up a topic means to introduce it into a conversation for discussion. While discussing my point, we ran into an unexpected issue. To run into a problem is to encounter it without warning. It took up the rest of the meeting.
I ran into a squirrel in the garden. Well, through the window. He was taunting me.
They always seem to know you're there. My team and I had to work through it. To work through a problem means to solve it methodically, step by step. By the end of the day, we were finally able to wrap it up. To wrap up means to finish or conclude. You can wrap up a project, a meeting, or your day's work.
I also wrapped up my duties. The squirrel retreated. The house was secure. My patrol was complete.
I'm glad your patrol was successful. After all that, it was nearly 5 p.m. I was exhausted and ready to go home. So I decided to call it a day. This final idiom, to call it a day, means to stop working for the day. It implies you have done enough.
A wise decision. I was beginning to look forward to your return. To look forward to something means to feel happy and excited about a future event.
So, after I called it a day, I started to pack up my desk. To pack up means to gather your things into a bag to leave. I shut down my computer and said goodbye to my colleagues.
This is a time I get worked up. To get worked up means to become very excited, anxious, or angry. For me, it is pure excitement.
As I was walking to my car, a thought popped into my head. I realized we had run out of your treats. Remember, to run out of something means you have used all of it.
A state of emergency. I am glad you understood the gravity.
I did, so I changed my plan. I decided to stop by the supermarket. To stop by a place means to make a quick visit on your way somewhere else. I needed to pick up a few things. First, your treats. And I thought I should stock up on some other groceries for the week. To stock up on is to buy a lot of something, so you have it for the future.
So this explains the delay. I was at my post by the window. I was keeping an eye out for you. To keep an eye out for someone means to watch carefully for them to appear.
I'm sorry I was late. At the supermarket, I had to look around for your specific brand of treats. To look around for something is to search for it in a place.
Time was ticking. Every passing car was a false alarm. I was trying to make out the sound of your specific engine. Remember, to make out is to hear, see, or identify with difficulty.
You have very sharp hearing. While I was looking, I came across a surprise for you. To come across something is to find it, completely by chance.
My twin. My sixth sense was tingling.
It was a plush toy that looked just like you. I knew I had to get it. I decided to splash out. This idiom, to splash out, means to spend more money than usual on a special treat.
A sound financial decision. It was an investment in my happiness.
It certainly was. So with the treats and the toy, I had to line up to pay for everything. To line up, or queue up, means to wait in a line.
The agony of the final moments. I just had to hang on. To hang on means to wait. For a short period. But it felt like an eternity.
Don't worry, the wait was almost over. After paying, I finally headed for home. Finally, with all the shopping, I got back in my car. The phrasal verb to get back is a very common way to say to return. I got back home around 6 p.m.
And I heard you pull up. To pull up is what a vehicle does when it stops, often for a short time. My ears did not deceive me this time.
The moment I opened the door, You came running to greet me. You were jumping up and down. I had to tell you to calm down. To calm down is to relax. After being very excited or agitated,
I was simply over the moon. An idiom for being extremely happy.
I could see that. My first job was to put away the groceries. To put away is to place items where they are normally stored.
I supervised this process closely. I had to make sure my treats were put away in the correct place.
You did. You watched every move. Then it was time for your surprise. I handed over your new toy. To hand over means to give something to someone else.
It was a very formal ceremony. I accepted this gift on behalf of all hard-working dogs.
You took it and immediately started to show it off. To show off means to proudly display something you are happy with. After all the excitement, I was hungry. I decided to whip up a quick dinner. To whip up a meal is to cook it very quickly and without much effort. I chopped up some vegetables for a pasta. To chop up is to cut into small pieces. It was ready in 15 minutes.
And I ate my dinner in 15 seconds.
That you did. And that brings us to now. Here we are, settling down on the sofa. To settle down for the evening means to get comfortable and relax. Your long, hard day has tuckered you out. To tucker out is an informal way to say to make someone very tired. I can see you're starting to doze off. To doze off is to begin to sleep, especially when you didn't intend to.
Vigilance is exhausting work.
I believe you. It was a long day for me, and a tough day for you. I think it's about time to turn in. Our last phrasal verb, to turn in, is a simple, informal way to say go to bed.
Good night, Ed.
Good night, Eddy. And good night to you for watching. We hope you were able to keep up. See you in the next lesson.